I blush. No one has ever compared me to a flower before. The table is the kind with a built-in bench on one side and chairs on the other. Frankie slides in on the bench side in front of the window, and I sit opposite him in a chair. Mrs. Schuyler slips in next to Frankie, and Potato darts under the table and lies down by Frankie's feet. Mrs. Schuyler touches Frankie's cheek, says, "Oops, I forgot a Band-Aid," and slips back out again. She disappears, returning a minute later with a Band-Aid with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle on it. "Don't like the turtle ones," Frankie says. "I know," Mrs. Schuyler sighs. "But I couldn't find a frog one, I told you that. It's only a Band-Aid. Just wear it." "But the frogs make me better faster, right, Frankie?" Mrs. Schuyler looks at him, then me, bewildered. "Francesca is my real name," I clarify, trying not to obsess on Frankie's frog thing. "But most people call me Frankie. It's a nickname for Francesca." "Well, of course, I remember that now. But it's a bit confusing, isn't it? Would you mind if I stick with Francesca?" "No, sure, that's fine." "But Frankie is good because it's Frankie and Frankie," Frankie says. Mrs. Schuyler laughs. "Well, then welcome aboard, Frankie Francesca. I assume this means you've taken me up on my offer. I'm sure a lovely girl like you is busy in the summer, but how old are you again?" She presses the turtle Band-Aid to Frankie's elbow, then looks at me, waiting for me to answer. Frankie immediately pulls the Band-Aid off. He frowns at it and sticks it under the table. I have to fight not to smile. 15, I say, keeping my eyes glued to Mrs. Schuyler. "Almost 16. I turned 16 the first week of September." "Well, of course you do, because almost 16 is the most perfect age for a girl. I almost remember it myself." She laughs again, but this time in a sad way. "Anyway, I'd like to have you as much as humanly possible. A mother's helper kind of a thing, you know? Have you done this before?" I open my mouth to answer, but she's not waiting for one. "It's been a rough time around here, and Frankie's grandpa has been bugging me to do this for ages. As you've seen, Frankie isn't the easiest child, and, well, I'm afraid I'm a bit permissive. It's very hard. Anyway, he's a good boy, and it seemed like fate when he asked for you, so I figured I couldn't go wrong." She turns to Frankie. "You asked specifically for Francesca, didn't you, my little angel?" Frankie nods, but he's busy tapping on Potato with his foot, somewhat un-angel-like. I push away the thoughts about fate that are trying to worm their way into my brain. Mrs. Schuyler continues, oblivious. "So, as you've seen, he can be a bit of a handful, I'm not going to lie. Will $10 an hour do?" My resolve to leave and never return melts like a popsicle on a hot summer day, because seriously, $10 an hour is good money. "Yes, ma'am," I say. "Sure, that'd be great." Mrs. Schuyler chuckles. "Goodness, Francesca, that ma'am makes me sound like I'm 100 years old. I may be battered and broken, but I hope I'm not that old." No, not at all. You're beautiful," I stammer. But she holds up a hand. "No worries. How about you just call me Brooke? Would that be all right?" I nod. "And I assume Frankie has shown you around." She pauses and turns to him. "Hey, now that I think of it, there may be some Kermit Band-Aids in the bathroom drawer. How about you go and check there? Do that for me, would you?" Frankie pads off down the hall with Potato, and Mrs. Schuyler pulls out the chair next to me and sits. "I take it Frankie told you that there is no Mr. Schuyler?" A flash of terrible sadness crosses her face, just for a moment, before she forces a smile again. "Yes, he told me. I'm so sorry about that." "Nothing for you to be sorry about. At any rate, that's pretty much all you need to know, at least for